back. Now to make a highly anticipated basketball video, because I hadn't got around to it, and I want to make it before we get too far into the NBA playoffs of the second round and the third round, and then ultimately the finals. I want to make this video just right in the nick of time, and that is 5 top reasons why LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers suck this NBA season and why they failed to make it to the playoffs. Because it's a video that a lot of people want an answer to the question. They want to know whose fault is it, why, and what the hell happened. And I'm here to give you those 5 reasons on why this basketball team, who's known for winning NBA championships and being an arch rival to the Boston Celtics, why they failed to make it to the playoffs. Everybody seems that they think they have all the answers, and people think it's plain and simple, when in reality it's not that plain and simple until I make the video and I give you the actual answers on what this is. Because you've seen this before in the NBA. It's not new. It's been done before 100 times over with a lot of basketball teams. So let's get into the video. It's not going to be too long. I mean, I'm trying to rebuild my brand back up because it's sports and everybody loves sports. And I promise you that when we get like further into the summer, there will be the return of my long-awaited series of the NFL. Because there's a lot of football videos that had not got made last year that will get made. So let's get into this video. Now, reason number 5 why the Los Angeles Lakers and King LeBron failed to make the playoffs. Anthony Davis. Now, I try to tell you guys on my old YouTube channels, if you go to Alexander Odin, that channel has 216 videos, 71 subscribers, and if you go to that one, I have a video about Anthony Davis. If you can't find it on that old channel, then you can go to the Alexander #2 show and click on my secondary channel, and the video should show up there. I made a whole entire video about Anthony Davis's chances of making it to the Los Angeles Lakers or not making it. Now, for those who are lazy and just don't want to click on those channels and see the reasons on why I said he will never be a Laker, I'll reiterate some of those points into this video. See, I try to tell you guys, you diehard Laker fans, that the price tag for Anthony Davis coming to Los Angeles is too big. I mean, you got to give up 3 to 4 basketball players on the team. You got to give up future first-round draft picks. You got to do a 3 or 4-way tie trade with 4 teams just to bring him to Los Angeles. And I told you that if you look back in history, that this has happened before with this team. Remember when Kobe Bryant was in the 1996 NBA draft, and he was to play with the Charlotte Hornets or the New Orleans Hornets at that time, and he didn't want to play for that team. He wanted to be a Laker. So Magic and Kurt Rambis, who were representatives of Los Angeles, figured out some way to get him to come to the Lakers. Why at the same time they had Shaquille O'Neal from Orlando coming to Los Angeles. So they stole 2 of the greatest basketball players in the world at that time to both come to Los Angeles 17, 18 years ago. And that's how the Lakers were to go to the NBA playoffs 4 years in a row and win 3 championships out of 4 years. Remember when the Lakers were losing when they first got Kobe and Shaq? But they went to the playoffs a total of 8 out of 10 years, right? So you look at the 1997-1998 NBA season, they would get eliminated 2 years in a row by the Jazz. You look at 1999, they got eliminated by Portland. Then 2000, they win a championship. 2001, they win a championship. 2003, 3 years in a row, they win 3 championships 3 years in a row with Shaq and Kobe. They lose in the 2004 NBA playoffs when they could have won 4 championships 4 years in a row. Same thing that happened to Golden State Warriors. They thought they was going to be able to do what the Lakers couldn't do, and they fell in that same problem. Different circumstances, however. Now, we get to the main cuss, because in 2005, Kobe finally got what he wanted. New coach, his own team, and he failed to make playoffs. Does that sound painfully obvious, familiar, Laker fans? I know it's been 17, 18 years ago, and for those, it's been only 10 years ago, but it wasn't that long ago that actually happened to Kobe Bryant, where Kobe went on a 6.5, 7-year absence of the NBA Finals with frustration. And then they had to get some players and some trades to build that team around Kobe. And then they made it back to the playoffs in 2008. They made it back to the playoffs, but they kept losing. And then they caught fire in 2008. They go all the way to the finals and lose to the Celtics. Then Kobe wins 2009, 2010, back-to-back NBA championships, and then back to losing again. And then goes another 7 years playing with that team, only to realize I'm getting up there in age and it's time to retire. So you've seen this movie before. And I'm telling you that reason number 5 is Anthony Davis weren't going to never come to Los Angeles, even if that was the answer to help LeBron get to where he's always been, the NBA playoffs, and then ultimately the NBA Finals. Told you Anthony Davis weren't going to come. People thought, if you want me to put a bonus on it, I'll put a bonus. You weren't going to never get Kawhi Leonard either. Reason number 4. LeBron James should have just went to either San Antonio or Houston to better his chances. I never liked the idea of him coming to Los Angeles to play for the Lakers in the first place, because I already knew in the back of my mind, you're not making it to the playoffs. You're not going to win 50 games. You're not going to breeze through the first round, the second round, the third round, and then the finals. I already knew that was never going to happen. The fact that he should have picked the Houston Rockets or the Spurs or the Dallas Mavericks or go play for Portland was because they're younger teams, they're younger, and they're hungry. Had he decided to go to Portland, he would have had better chances, because you see what Portland has just done. They just knocked off a Thunder team. And that would have made sense for him to do that, because you would have had younger players. You had Damian Lillard, and LeBron wouldn't have to tell Damian Lillard what to do. Now, I know some people might say, well, LeBron likes to always have control of everything. Okay, let's go ahead and look at that. Did Michael Jordan have control of the Chicago Bulls? Yes. And they still won championships. Did Kobe Bryant have control of the Los Angeles Lakers basketball team while winning championships? Yes. That does happen. You get players that you can't stand or don't like because they always get the attention. They're always trying to tell someone what to do on and off the basketball court. All basketball teams go through it. All players experience that. But this is why I didn't want him coming to Los Angeles, and you see why. Because he should have picked a different option instead of going for the obvious. I said in that video last year, I made a completely separated video. I said LeBron James and the new look Lakers. I said that you got to give it 110%. I specifically said no 80%, no 90%, not even 110%. And you didn't get that. So you can see why I say he should have just picked a different team. Now that brings us to number 3. Failed to win 50 games. I predicted last year. I told my dad. My dad told me I didn't know what I was talking about. I told Laker fans that have been Laker fans since the days of the 80s. They said I don't know what I was talking about. I said, oh, really? Well, when we get to 2019, don't come up to me and say, oh, Lakers are not in the playoffs, when I looked in the crystal ball and told your delusional ass they weren't going to make no playoffs if they don't win 50 games, and they didn't. The thing on winning 50 games was to see if you was going to make the playoffs. You let a team like the Clippers get ahead. That's why people are shocked that the Clippers are in the playoffs and not the Lakers. And then you somehow let Portland get in. All these other teams got in before the Lakers. And people are trying to figure out how in the hell a Clippers team with no superstars make it over the LA Lakers. And if you look in there, LeBron James got hurt, and people were complaining that he intentionally on purpose didn't come back for almost 20 games. Like, okay, you already had enough time to recover from your injury. What are you waiting for? Same thing anyone was waiting for, to see if they was going to get Kawhi Leonard, to see if they was going to get Anthony Davis or Chris Paul. He was trying to see who he can get available during the All-Star break. So that's why he intentionally, on purpose, went such a long time waiting to see if he could get some help, because he saw what he was dealing with. And for him to come out in the media and say, well, what do you want me guys to say? I'm waiting for Anthony Davis to come. I'm waiting for Kawhi Leonard to come. And that's why LeBron didn't want to do that. So that's why he went almost 20 games, or just about 20 games, frustrating the fans who pay their hard-earned money to see him perform. Reason number 2. You can blame the players being injured like LeBron Ball. I mean, one can argue that Magic Johnson was right. Either you self-improve, or you need to go to another team. And I think that needs to happen. I mean, he needs to get traded, because LeBron James pretty much thought he had a guy that he could bring up to a level, and he didn't get that. Which brings us to the number 1 reason of who should get the blame for why the Lakers failed to reach playoffs, win 50 games, become a threat to Golden State, Houston, and any other team in the Western Conference. And what I'm about to say will shock a lot of you Laker fans. Some of you will agree when I say it's LeBron James' fault. Some of you will probably spit out your Pepsi, your Coca-Cola, your Mountain Dew, your water, or your tea when I even mention Magic. The answer is both are going to have to take the blame. LeBron James gets 50% of this blame, and so does Magic Johnson. Magic for being the catalyst, for insinuating we're going to win 50 games and make the playoffs, we're going to go to the first round. You guaranteed the city an opportunity to the finals. And that did not happen. And when you say no one wanted to trade or play with LeBron James, you knew that at the beginning of the start of the preseason and the season. And you kept that to yourself. And then when you decided not to make an announcement public and you quit, let's let everyone knows that you took back your word. So now when people hear the name Magic Johnson, they still think of one of the greatest Laker players of all times, the Magic Man. But when it comes to could you bring this city back to its glory, we all know where you stand on that. Now, I understand why Magic Johnson done it. Quite frankly, if I was in Magic's shoes, I might have to resort to some similar situation. But it would have been nice if you could have announced to the world the frustration and the trouble. At least people wouldn't take it personal. So that's why Magic get 50% of this blame at number 1. LeBron James get 50% of this blame because you are the superstar. You are the man in demand. You are the one who sell tickets. You're the one who make people come sit down. You're the one who put asses in seats. People come to see you play at a high competitive level. They don't want to see you whine and complain at your age. They don't want to see you sitting out 20 games, whether you're injured or not, trying to see if you're going to get some help. They want to see you do what Michael Jordan did. They want to see you do what Michael used to do. When Michael didn't get the players available at the half of the season, Michael turned it on and started winning games whether he got the help or not. And for you to just sit there and complain is frustrating to LA fans. Now in Cleveland, you could have done that and got the hell away with it. Miami, you again could have done that and got the hell away with it. But this is what Kobe Bryant was trying to tell everyone. And no one listened to Kobe Bryant, unfortunately, when he said it. So when people get upset with LeBron, it isn't your ability to play and score points. It's you doing stuff deliberately on purpose and not recognizing where your faults lie in. That means people came to see you. When people get off of work and come see you play, they want to see you perform. They don't want to hear from you necessarily, we need some help. That's okay. Every basketball team needs some help. So you're getting blamed for this. 50% of the blame because you were expected to dominate the playoffs. You were expected to win these 50 games, show the world that, yeah, I can help LA get return back to its glory. And you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when they got Dwight Howard to come to Los Angeles. And you saw how of a circus that was. And people told me, we got Dwight Howard. And I said, it's not going to work. And people thought I was a Laker player hater. They thought I hated the Lakers. They thought, oh, you just mad because LeBron and Cleveland ain't making it. I say it has nothing to do with that. The chemistry between Kobe and Dwight Howard don't work. The chemistry with LeBron James and these players, it just doesn't work. Now, someone might say, give them by next year. Okay, I'll give you a crystal ball scenario again. I'll look into the crystal ball for the 2020 NBA season. The same year there's supposed to be the presidential race election again. And I'll go into the crystal ball again for you Laker fans who are delusional, who can't accept reality for what it is. That is, they will probably win 50 games next year. Problem with this is, LeBron James is going to be trying to convince all this summer to try to get Paul George to leave the Thunder and come to the Lakers because he doesn't have a scorer. I mean, he has a scorer, but you know what I mean. He's going to try to beg and plead Westbrook to leave the Thunder and come to LA. Since Westbrook's from Los Angeles, it makes perfect sense to, somewhere in the summer of July or August, you get on the phone and you try to recruit Russell Westbrook. You try to get Paul George. He's going to try to do both. Then he's going to try to hope and pray Kyrie Irving comes to Los Angeles. Because that's probably what he needs at this point. He needs Kyrie Irving to come to Los Angeles. And the purpose of him doing that is because he sees nobody wants to play with him. So next year, yeah, they win 50 games. They make it to the playoffs. They win a first round series. They make it to the second round. And if they're not facing the Golden State Warriors or the Houston Rockets, they probably win the third round. And then finally make their way to an NBA Finals. And depending who comes out of the East next season, it could be Toronto, it could be Philly or Milwaukee next year, if not this year. And probably either win or lose the NBA series in the finals, potentially. That's what you're going to see in next year's crystal ball of 2020. So when you be talking this nonsense, oh, we're going to go next year, look at the evidence. Look at what just happened. LeBron's not used to this, oh, damn, I didn't make the playoffs? We didn't win 50 games? See, the reason why I say it's 50% blame on both is because as much as you blame LeBron James, you got to blame Magic. As much as you blame Magic Johnson, you got to blame LeBron James. Now, I know LeBron may not want no blame, but the reality is you got hurt. And you did sit out for almost 20 games. And that was frustrating. Even to me, it's like, don't take this long for you to realize you're not getting the help that you need. And Magic called as many teams as he could, and the answer was no. And I'm telling you, you've seen this before. Now that you've seen it, Laker fans, stop being delusional and wake up. There's a reason why they don't want Los Angeles to win another title. Okay? And the reality is, I try to tell Laker fans, but they didn't want to listen to me. I said Boston will make the playoffs before you will. Oh, you just hate the Lakers. And now that they see that Boston won a first-round series, they're hoping and praying that Boston lose the second-round series, which I already told you they probably will. But even though if Boston lose, you still can't have as much fun because at least they made it to the second round. Lakers didn't even make the playoffs. And you see, what's sad is Clippers don't even have a team of superstars, and they're on the verge of knocking off Golden State. If they force a Game 7 and they somehow dethrone the World NBA Championships, who's going to be talking about Los Angeles in the summertime? All you're going to hear is Golden State, Sacramento, Clippers. Lakers won't even be in the conversation. And I'm telling you, you better not hope to God that if LA Clippers knock off a NBA championship team full of superstars, by the way, Lakers won't be mentioned in the conversation. And you see, this is probably why people need to stop believing in superstars on a team, because the Clippers just showed you don't really need superstars to make it to the playoffs. They didn't have no distractions. All the distractions was on the Lakers team. And to me, this is probably why I give Magic 50% of the blame, 50% of the blame to LeBron. Now, both can say they don't deserve no blame, but if you're smart and intelligent, you have to accept the fact you're going to get some blame. That's my 5 reasons on why LeBron James And the Los Angeles Lakers suck this season. So some of you will thumbs down this video. Some of you will player hate on this video. Some of you will agree to disagree in this video. It's okay. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm just explaining to you why this team had problems. Injuries, distraction, too much of a circus. And I told you the expectations were too high for LeBron, and now you see it. And then people want to have this talk about next year. Well, I already paint you a nice picture for next year. Peace.